Family, have you guys read Malachi chapter 4 already? Now, for those of you who don't know, Malachi only has 4 chapters: chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, majority of the time when the book of Malachi is mentioned, it's only when it is referring to tithe and offering. Now, in Malachi chapter 3, especially at verse 8, 9, and 10, that's the only time the church, the pastors, will tell you about Malachi. They only read Malachi only when they want to talk about one thing, that is tithe and offering. Only when they want to tell you that how much you are robbing God of his tithe and offering by not giving them money. That's the only time you hear mentions are being made concerning the book of Malachi. And they will take you to Malachi chapter 3, beginning at verse 8. Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offering. Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. And then they will tell you, bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house. And prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. No, I do accept and do agree that we rob God by not giving our tithe and offering. I've been guilty of that all my life. We all are guilty at some point. And Father God, please forgive me, I pray. But I am not saying tithing is wrong. I'm not saying tithing is not of God. Don't get me wrong. It is necessary that we tithe, although the majority of us not doing it. But we need to go back and tithe. Honestly. Now what I'm saying is that, no, brothers and sisters, here's the point that I'm making. All the churches will go to the book of Malachi, only Malachi chapter 3. They would not go to chapter 1 and chapter 2 and chapter 4. Only chapter 3, just to make a statement when it comes to tithe and offering. But one day someone showed me the book of Malachi chapter 4, which I have never in my life read it before that time. The person showed it to me. And then we read Malachi chapter 4. Pay attention, brothers and sisters. Malachi chapter 4 talks about the second coming of Jesus Christ. And it pinpoints the law of Moses in contrast to the prophet Elijah before the second coming of Jesus Christ. You don't believe me? Let us read it. Malachi chapter 4. It says here, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. And ye shall go forth, and grow up as calves of the stall. And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, saith the Lord of hosts. Now, this is the part that strikes a deadly blow at the Sunday pastors, the Sunday churches, and the Sunday religions that will tell you the laws have been nailed to the cross, and therefore there is no need to keep the 7-day Sabbath. We are not under the 10 Commandments. And if that is so, let us read Malachi chapter 4, verse 4 and 5. Verse 4 says, remember ye the law of Moses my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel with the statute and judgment. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. Now, they will never take you to Malachi chapter 4 and read these two verses, verses 4 and 5. Remember ye the law of Moses. Now, the law of Moses is tied with, behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. So Malachi is telling you to remember the law of Moses before the second coming of Jesus Christ. It says here, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord, to remember ye the law of Moses. I highlight that in blue. or turquoise. Remember the law of Moses is tied with the prophet Elijah that will be sent before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. That is talking about the second coming of Jesus Christ. We ought to remember the law of Moses. What is the law of Moses? They will tell you that the laws have been nailed to the cross. If the laws have been nailed to the cross and the Sabbath is no longer a law, so can you please tell me what is the law of Moses that God gave Moses on Mount Sinai? Do you guys know what law that is? The Ten Commandments. In the Ten Commandments, the criterion of worship is on the 7-day Sabbath. So remember ye the law of Moses is referring to remember the 10 commandments, which include the 7-day Sabbath that God gave to Moses and commanded for the whole house of Israel on Mount Horeb. Now, Mount Horeb is the same as Mount Sinai. So Moses received the 10 commandments on Mount Horeb, the same as Mount Sinai. And Malachi is telling you, before the great day of the Lord, before the second coming of Jesus Christ, go back to the 10 commandments, go back to the law of Moses, and behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet. Now, those of you who don't know the story of Elijah the prophet, Elijah was sent on Mount Carmel to put an end to false worship, Baal worship, which today is known as Sunday worship. In the 10 Commandments, Sunday worship was not part of the 10 Commandments, brothers and sisters. Now, let me prove to you the law of Moses. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to search for the law of Moses, all right, on Mount Horeb. All right, so I'm looking for Horeb, and I'm looking for, I think it's Chronicles. What's in Chronicles? Okay, 2 Chronicles 5 verse 10. Now it says here, there was nothing in the ark save the 2 tables which Moses put therein at Horeb, when the Lord made a covenant with the children of Israel when they came out of Egypt. Now let me highlight this. This is so straightforward. Now let us tie this with Malachi. We're going to tie 2 Chronicles 5 verse 10 with Malachi chapter 4. Verse 4, remember ye the law of Moses my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel with the statutes and judgment. So the law of Moses that was on Mount Horeb, that God gave to Moses on Mount Horeb, is basically the 10 Commandments. Look at right there, brothers and sisters. Look at the reference here. 1 Kings 19 verse 8. And he wrote, 2 Chronicles 5 verse 10. There was nothing in the ark save the 2 tables which Moses put therein at Horeb, when the Lord made a covenant with the children of Israel when they came out of Egypt. So the law of Moses is the 10 Commandments. It is the 10 Commandments. That is the law of Moses. You can imagine? And then they're telling you the 10 Commandments done away with. No, brothers and sisters, the 10 Commandments cannot be done away with. It cannot be nailed to the cross. Malachi chapter 4 is not about tithe and offering alone. It is also about a prophecy of future events that will come. It reminds you of the 10 Commandments before Jesus comes. So keep the 10 Commandments, brothers and sisters, because we have been warned over and over again in the 10 Commandments. In the Old Testament, that the 10 Commandments are in existence. Every single one of the laws, they are alive. Keep the 7-day Sabbath. Keep the 10 Commandments, brothers and sisters.